Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the product update webinar for Q1. My name is Paul, and I have my colleague Steph, and we'll go through all the product enhancements that were released for the past 3 months, and we'll take you through to class and share a bit about what we have done. So before we jump into the content of the webinar, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please just put them in the chat window. We will collate all the questions, answer them, and make this available to all participants after the webinar. The webinar itself will be recorded and be made available via our website. And at the end of the webinar, we will send out a survey to get some feedback about the content and the presentation, and we really welcome if you can spend some time filling that out. And we are in a class, we're always keen to actually get your feedback about some of our processes and also some of the content that we are presenting. So with that, just a quick introduction of myself. I'm the product manager for the Class Super product. So in my capacity, I am in charge of the product roadmap and the product strategy for the Super product, and also myself and the team work to deliver the enhancements you see in each of the product releases. A bit of myself, I've got 10 years experience in the accounting, tax, and superannuation software industry, and I've got a qualification in commerce, law, master of tax, and also a registered tax agent. The other person that you'll hear from today is Steph. Steph is our product manager for feeds and automation. Steph's been in class for the last 6 years, 5 years as a developer, but recently moved into product management. Steph has a Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, and Mathematics from the University of New South Wales. Steph will take you through a bit later about a feeds update and what we're working on in that space. So with that, we'll go through the agenda for today's webinar. From what we've done is pulled out all the major enhancements we've done for the past 3 months. There's probably more features here than what we're going to cover today. So I encourage you to go through all the release notes and actually go through them in detail. All those are available on the class app, and you'll be able to actually access all the release notes for the past year. So please go through them. So for today, we'll go through the enhancement to our tax statement OCR, which is a further enhancement to the tax statement automation. Our enhancement to income generation for stable securities. The other thing we'll go through is the fund level corporate action console enhancement, specifically to do with the way that we've enhanced the filtering of statuses. The DMS enhancements for tagging by financial year. And the last one to do with how we have enhanced our PYG lodgement for cap-defined benefit pension payments. And then Steph will take you through some of the new feeds available and also the improvements for the feed setup process. Now, before we jump into the product demos, I thought we'll run a short poll on the tax statement automation. Now, this is a feature that we released in February, and we further enhanced it with the OCR functionalities. But I want to take this opportunity to actually get an understanding as to how much time saving these features has provided your business and for your clients. So what I'll do now is launch the poll, and I'll keep this open for about 30 seconds. If you can answer in rough terms, what's the time saving for you on a per fund basis, considering all the manual work that you've had to do from collating the documents to to processing the tax statements. And I'll keep that open for another 5 seconds. Okay, and I'll close that now. Cool, thank you so much for your response. We'll definitely look at the result of those polls and make those available to you at the end of the webinar. So we'll move on to the tax automation bit. And before I jump into the OCR demo, I want to just explain a bit of contextual-wise what we're trying to do here. So in February, we've released the tax statement console, which create automation of widely held securities. Now, how that works behind the scenes is we have a tax statement database, and that database has a number of tax statement templates. And the templates, in conjunction with the distribution data that's in class, allows us to pre-populate the tax statement components, which then makes up the tax statement event. So we can provide from a tax statement perspective. So we're constantly updating and creating new templates. Now, we understand that for many clients, we may not have the templates, or they may not be widely held, such that you have data that we may not be easily accessible. So what we've done with that is in August, release tax statement OCR and also the tax statement document upload. Now, what this and the powerful of this is the moment you get your PDF tax statement from providers, you can immediately upload that into class through the console. And what class will do is actually extract the data, map that against the relevant tax statement components in the events, and create the tax statement for you without waiting for class to generate any of the templates. That means you can actually create tax statements at a much earlier date than the way you were if you were waiting for the automation. Now, but then the real key here is the fact that the class is using all this data through the tax and OCR or the document upload process. We can then actually push that back and actually increase the the coverage of tax statement templates that we have in our database, which means we can this great number of tax statement templates, great number of automation at an earlier date. So while we solve the tax statement problem, many of you have said, look, what about my stable securities? Because for many of you, the process stable securities and this income variation problem is part and parcel of the one process. And for many of you, we know that we've spoken to, the processing of the tax statements is the trigger point for you to then actually resolve some of the income issues for your stable securities. So for people that are not aware, I mean, this is the process where you have a 30 June distribution event where for stable security there's a dividend and distribution component, and previously we would load that as one single distribution event and require the client to actually manually break that down between the dividend and also distribution component. It's a manual process, and also requiring you to use either the tax statement or the payment summary to provide the information for you to actually make the breakdown. On the left here, I just put up all the holdings that are affected by this problem, and you can see it's over 140,000 holdings, and it's a significant pain point for our clients. So to further complement the tax statement automation, also improve sort of the automation in terms of our income generation, we've actually solved this problem by enhancing our income generation logic to be able to accept two income events for the same period, so the dividend and the actual distribution. So what I'll do is I'll probably jump to class and show you those features. So what I'll do is I will firstly go, we'll have a look at the stable securities. So here I have a TCL created. TCL is one of the most commonly held stable security with this dividend distribution issues. Now after the release, if you're getting through the feeds, it will do the same. But if you're not, the moment if you're generating income, you will get you'll get for TCL 2 incomes for the same period, the distribution component and the dividend. So we're just going to create them as usual. And what you can see is we actually created we actually broken down the full income to the distribution component and actual dividend component. And the key here is then now when you move to the next step and do the tax statement for TCL, the allocation of tax components will be utilizing only the distribution components of 28905 rather than the entire amount. And the reason why we do this is because obviously we have different timing periods between the distribution and dividends. I want to make sure that the right amount of income is taxed in the correct income financial year. So key takeaway here is we've automated this process, and there's actually no additional step you need to do. It will just be part of your either the normal fee loading process when you generate income, or if you generate manually through the generate income process through the match transaction screen. So we'll then now move into tax statement OCR. So I've just brought up the tax statement console, and that's we know hopefully for most of our clients you have used this in some capacity. Now you'll find that if you actually click on the 3 clicks button, you'll get 2 more options that you didn't get previously. One is the upload documents, and the other one is upload and extract. And the upload document is if you want to just upload a document directly to the console and not run the OCR process. But the upload and extract is always where the magic happens, because you're able to actually upload a physical PDF. It will upload that and save that to our DMS system. It will then run and extract the necessary information and map that to the relevant fields in the tax statements. And all you have to do is review and actual submit. So I'm going to try this process. I'm going to upload extract. It's going to ask me to select the actual PDF file. So I'm going to select CQE. And so what this is doing is actually reading. It's actually mapping the relevant fields in the table to the relevant field in the actual class in the class event. And then you can see all of the events is pre-populated. Where we made adjustments, we'll show you that as a warning that there's nothing to worry about. It's just for you to actually, for information purposes, for you to then be able to actually check the relevant amounts against your paper tax statement. So now all you need to do is review, and once you're happy, hit submit. And now, so what you can see is the OCR, the tax statement has been processed. We've uploaded the tax statement to our DMS. That's why you have the familiar paperclip, and the source will say OCR. So therefore, you can come back later and know how you've actually generated the tax statement. If we generate through our tax or automation through our templates, it will obviously say auto-generated. But if it's going to be done through OCR, it will say OCR. And third option, obviously, if it was done manually, it will say manual. So we're keeping track of the actual status and as to how the tax statement data source come from. So that's the income generated for stable securities and tax statement OCR. I'll just continue on the rest of the features. So the three I want to just briefly talk about is the fund level corporation console filtering, the tagging of documents with financial years, and the last one which I want to demo, but it's more just FYI. For what we've done is we've actually enhanced our coverage for PAYG lodgements for defined benefit pension payments. Those that, and so generally, if the member is over 60, we do not generate any PAYG lodgements, but we know that for these defined benefit payments, pension payments, there is a PAYG lodgement obligation for members that are over 60, and we have enhanced that functionality to be able to allow you to lodge PAYG lodgements even for those scenarios. So what I'll do now is I'll probably just jump back to class and have a look at the fund level corporation console, and this is a client most wanted that's been asked for by our clients. And here the problem is, as you have a large number of corporations, as the fund has been on class for a number of years, the screen is designed to show you the earliest to latest, so that it's used to make sure that you process the corporation in the order that they come. But obviously the difficulty here is, as you have a large number of corporations, it can easily clutter the screen. And the ones that you want to actually see, which is the one that's in red as action required, could be on the second, third page. And so what we've done is make the fund level corporation console consistent with most of the other consoles, consistent with the business level corporation console, by adding the date range and also the actual filters as to the status. So now, if you want to see the corporations that requires actioning, all you need to do is go and click on this red button here, and then it will quickly filter out only the one that needs actioning. That way, in a sense, streamline your workflow and making the stuff you need to do more visible to you when you need them. So and we're doing more in this area to try and enhance the user experience and the workflow. Now, the second thing I want to show you, and is the actual document management tagging. Now, one of the problems or one of the issues facing our clients is our DMS system allow you to record and keep a large number of documents, but it's important from a record keeping and usage perspective that you can tag them to the respective financial year, so that whether you're using them for audit preparation purposes or work paper purposes, that you know the relevant documents relating to which financial year. So what we've done is introduced automated tagging of documents for financial years. So wherever you've actually added the documents into class, and where we know where the documents come from and belongs to which financial year, we will automatically tag that. So you can see this CQE tax statement, which we've uploaded previously, because we know that relates to the 29 financial year, it's automatically tagged that as the FY19 financial year. So that will apply across all the fund if you were to actually add a document to a particular event. Now, if you were to actually add documents to DMS directly, and we can do one here. What you will need to do is actually adding the actual document date. I'm going to add today's. I'm going to add this year's date, and then once I hit save, so you can see it because of the date I've set falls in the 2020 financial year, it's automatically tagged that as FY20. So what that means, imagine if you had a large of documents, you can go into here and go, I want to sort by system tags, and I want to sort by FY19. then this just shows me all the documents that relate to that financial year, so that you can use that to create your work paper from, or you can direct that to your auditors to say this is the documents that you need to be looking at for my FY19 audit, and it just makes the document management system a bit more usable and easy for you to track and manage large amount of documents, because we know as the fund goes on class for a number of years, you will have large amount of documents that span multiple financial years. So we think this is a quite a handy feature, and we're looking at see what enhancement we want to make in the document management space. So now I may pass you over to Steph, who will provide you with a feeds update.
Thanks, Paul. So for feeds this last quarter, we added 4 new feeds to the suite that we already got. We've got 2 brokers, Ascot Securities and CPS Capital, a platform, private portfolio managers, and we've also added a feed for storehouse investments. So if you have any clients that have any storehouse managed funds, you can get your buys, sells of managed funds and your distributions direct from them as well. As with a lot of direct connect feeds, by adding these products, we hope that we can help reduce the amount of manual entry that you need to do. And as more providers have data feeds available, we will add these to the system as well. So in addition to adding new feeds, we're also looking at helping you with the setup of your feeds. So we know for a lot of clients, setting up feeds is also often one of the first things that they do when they set up their funds. The process is often got a lot of roadblocks. You might have forms that are sent off to providers that go missing, or advisors that need to help you set up your data feeds. So we're just looking at ways to actually make the process a lot more simplified for you, and a way for you to self-service the actual process without needing to come to us or refer to help guides constantly. So one of the things that we're doing in this quarter is for the feeds listed on the screen right now, we're actually automatically electronically sending the authority form that you upload to class to the providers. So instead of getting the notification saying that you need to post the form to the actual data provider, we will tell you that you don't need to have any further actions to take, and you'll just have to you only need to wait for the actual data feed to be activated in class. I'm going to go quickly through what the process was before and what this will mean for you going forward. So when you set up your data feed, the first thing you will do is go into class and configure it. Once you've actually set up the details and put the account number and the feed that you want to use, then you will go and download the authority form and then get the trustee to actually sign the form to grant you consent from them that you can get the data on their behalf. Then you would need to actually take the signed authority form and upload it into class, and then also post a separate form to the provider, either by mail or electronically. So this meant that if you didn't upload the form to class, or the provider didn't actually receive the authority form, the data feed wouldn't be activated. What we're doing for this process now is we'll actually take the form that you've uploaded into class and we will electronically send it to them automatically on your behalf. That way you only need to make sure that the form ends up in one place, and that's in our system. For these products, this is the first set that we're actually going to be doing the delivery for. We'll actually roll it out for other products going forward in the next few months. For the current list of forms that actually support this process, you just refer to our help guide, and we'll actually have a table of what you need to do with the form for each provider going forward. On that note, I will conclude this webinar. As Paul mentioned earlier, we'll send out a survey on this session, and we'd appreciate any feedback from you for any improvements that we can make to either the process or the content in this webinar. Thank you for your time.